Hello, good morning. This is the Breakfast Jam. I'm your girl, Myra, Maloba, the Afro Punk Queen at Icon Radio, number one entertainment plug. How you guys doing on the 13th of March on a glorious Monday morning? Yes, we're getting started real quick and getting straight into it. Remember, you're streaming us live on www.iconradio.co.ke as well as youtube.com// at Icon Radio KE. Now, to look at the weather in Nairobi, 18 degrees, intermittent clouds going into 8 a.m. Humidity at 73%, going up to highs of 30 degrees, guys. 30 degrees today in Nairobi. Mombasa, 26 degrees, intermittent clouds, humidity at 80%, going up to highs of 34 degrees. And in Kisumu, at 22 degrees, hazy sunshine, humidity at 73%, going up to highs of 30 degrees. But no matter where you are, no matter the weather, you will always have a great day with Icon Radio. For the roads, it's looking like there is a serious traffic issue around Jogo Road, as it is not looking too pretty. So be patient while you're there. Gong Road seems to be moving up until the Daystar roundabout. However, very slowly. Langata Road, it looks like it's looking pretty good until it becomes Nyayo Stadium, and that's where things get a little bit murky going up to Bunyala Road. So yes, a little bit of slow traffic over there around the University of Nairobi as well, going up to the roundabout. Looks like there are pockets of traffic, heavy traffic, but there are areas that are indeed moving. All right, that's how it's looking on major roads of Nairobi. All you gotta do is tune into Icon Radio, where we are your number one entertainment plug, and enjoy it as you go about your day. Now, looking at the news, looking at the headlines today, it seems that DP Rigathi Gachagua has been spilling all of the tea. Now, he first talked about how he convinced Kindiki to let him be Ruto's deputy. Now, if you remember when it happened, there was a lot of commotion at the former DP, now President Ruto's home, where there was a complete standoff. Where when the announcement was meant to be made, it was done until much later, to the point that even former PM Raila Odinga was like, "Listen, I am not announcing it till he does." So, finally, Rigathi Gachagua was announced, and we were trying to find out what happened. Now, here is a big reveal. He said that he swiped the age card to convince Interior Cabinet Secretary to bow out from the running mate race ahead of the August 2022 polls. Speaking during a Thanksgiving service in Tharaka Nithi, Gachagua revealed President William Ruto, then the cabinet for the top seat, instructed them to agree on who would deputize him. This came after hours of trying to determine who was the best pick, since both DP and Kindiki had qualities of his ideal deputy. Now, the president had been trying to make a decision for 17 hours, and it boiled down to Kindiki and myself. I am thorough, he is thorough, I am trustworthy, and so is he. We told us to sit down and talk. I told him that I was older than him and asked him to leave it for me. However, he promised Kindiki that he would reward him if Kenya Kwanza won the election, and that is how the CS landed the Interior Ministry. Now, he said, I vowed to reward him with a powerful office, and it did not happen. And I am advising, and did it not happen? That's a question. And I'm advising you, that is Kindiki, to work closely with the president and myself, because your future is bright. Meanwhile, Gachagua pledged his full support for Kindiki over his handling of insecurity in the country, especially with the bandit menace. Now you know. Now you know. All right. He also opined on issues that conditions. He opined on the issue of the opposition and issues conditions for opposition to join government. So remember, before he was like, no handshake, no handshake. There's no way that we can shake hands, let opposition do their job. We need them. They need to play their part. But now he's kind of like changing his tune, and he's saying, he has change of heart on this touchy topic of opposition members who wanted to be part of the government. Now, the DP retracted from his earlier stance that the government was a business and only those who campaigned for Kenya Kwanza were shareholders. In a roundtable media interview, Gachagua remarked that President William Ruto was willing to bring everyone on board. He says, I am willing to talk to anybody who wants to talk to us. Some people are already engaging us. He went on to say some come during the day, others come at night, depending on how they look at things. Gachagua further revealed that he was not bitter with anyone who opposed Kenya Kwanza in the last general election. He said, I'm not bitter with anyone. For example, the East Africa Legislative Assembly Member of Parliament, Kanini Kega, opposed me during the last election. He was instrumental in my problems, but when he reached out, since I am a leader, I agreed to work with him. Gachagua also assured those in opposition that the Ruto-led government was ready to accommodate everyone. He, however, put a condition on those seeking to work with the president in any capacity. Gachagua revealed that for anyone to be appointed up to the government, he must believe in the bottom-up economic model. Gachagua explained that only those who believed in the leadership of Ruto and the bottom-up economic approach would be an asset in helping him govern and transform the country. On Saturday, February 18th, Gachagua sparked controversy after he insinuated that those who voted for the government were the ones poised to benefit. Now, looking at the last bit of the news, as goons attack journalists in Homa Bay and disrupt press conference. Now, Nation Media Group correspondent George Odoro was beaten up and injured on Sunday by a group of rowdy youths who stormed a press conference by Luo leaders in Homa Bay. The goons attacked Odoro and 8 other journalists drawn from different media houses in the country. The journalists were covering an event where the Luo Council of Elders was to address the state of politics in the region. Homa Bay County Union of Journalists Chairperson James Omoro asked the government to improve the safety of journalists in the area. He said, we are defying the constitutional rights of the journalists when we attack them. Homa Bay County youth should respect journalists and refrain from such acts. I would also want to ask the authorities to ensure that those youths are apprehended. The journalists recorded statements at the Homa Bay police station, and the matter is under investigation. During the press conference, the elders asked youths in the area to refrain from political rallies and protests, adding that it would only lead to the death of the young people in the country. The council further called for dialogue between the opposition leader Raila Odinga and President William Ruto, stating that it was the only way to ensure economic growth and peace in the country. Now, in a separate incident in May 2022, the journalists from the Standard and the Star were allegedly attacked by the ODM at the ODM headquarters in Nairobi. The journalists claimed that they were approached and attacked by the goons who accused them of working for media houses that published negative stories after the party and tainting its image. However, the Media Council of Kenya demanded that for the immediate arrest of the attackers, with ODM leader Raila Odinga condemning violence against journalists. Yes, this needs to come to an end. They are doing their job just like any other person that is reporting the news that you look forward to hearing and listening to come 1 p.m., 7 p.m., and of course 9 p.m. So please let the journalists be. They're just instruments of telling the news. All right. We're at exactly 8:04 a.m. and we are crossing over into the Kenyan hour. We're all about love for the 254. And of course, we'll be looking at our icon of the day. You know, we do love to celebrate them right here. So look forward to that as we go into our Innovation Mondays. But before that, I'd like to highlight that on Friday, last Friday, we were at Masaku. And we unveiled, or we rather helped to unveil, the Kenya Rugby League. No. That was the Benjamin Ayimba Rugby Legacy Tournament Trophy. And it is said to be the most expensive trophy in Kenyan history. It is beautiful and it is huge. Okay? So it was a very special event. I felt very special to be in Masaku and just listen, just look at the hills as this was happening. I was singing the Sound of Music in my head. The hills are alive. But yes, it is a go. It is a go, my people, on the event at Masaku. That is the Benjamin Ayimba Rugby Legacy Tournament. And the tickets are out. Tickets are out. There was a call for people to buy their tickets by the Masaku government. The the DP, Francis Mwangangi, called for it and said, "You guys, we need to fill up Masaku, man. We need to fill up Masaku." And he promised an amazing, amazing time while you're there. So be sure to grab your tickets at tikiti.co.ke, as well as tickets.com, and finally Hustle Sasa for those VIP tickets. It's all there for you. And of course, he also said book your hotels early. I've been saying this week after week. Book your hotels early so you don't get stranded somewhere trying to look for a place to stay, because it's the entire Easter weekend, 7th, 8th, 9th. You cannot afford to miss. It's going to be an amazing, amazing time as we celebrate the legacy of our fallen hero, that is Benjamin Ayimba. Like the Brat and Tyrese. Yes, there's a time that the Brat sexed it up for the cameras. It was also Tamu, I guess, or they're just drooling. Yes, this is the Breakfast Jam. I'm your girl, Myra Maloba, the Afro-Punk Queen. Let me tell you, we just lost a little bit. Speaking of icons, like, guess who was in town on Saturday? She's called Dolores Johnson, and she is the mother of the great, the GOAT, Michael Jordan. And she's such an amazing person. She had such wise words to say. And the one that I took away with me was like, we can be stronger together. Women can be stronger together. So if you're listening in and you're that woman out there and you need that kind of lift up, that would be your word, your word for the week. That would be, we are stronger together. So get into those collaborations, get into those cooperations, get into those spaces where you can healthily and happily work with other women to build stronger networks and stronger enterprises. Together we can stronger together. Absolutely loved it. Yes. So remember this weekend, or rather not this weekend, on the 7th to the 9th, that's the Easter weekend, where we're going to be having the Benjamin Ayimba Rugby Legacy Tournament. It's going to be taking place at Masaku, and you cannot afford to miss it. Let me tell you, Masaku is absolutely beautiful. The county of Machakos, let me tell you. I'm going to tell you that because I am from there. I'm not being very biased. Maybe a little bit of me is. But it just looked amazing standing at the White House and just overlooking the hills and just looking at God's awesomeness throughout. It's a beautiful place to be, a beautiful place to enjoy a lot of rugby action as well as entertainment. There's going to be a lot going down, a lot of, just fun times. And of course, we get to spend the weekend out of town. I know it's just like, what, 30 minutes away from Nairobi, but still, if you want Shere, the way we're about Shere, that was the theme when we were launching the trophy. It's all about Shere, 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 but of course, good, clean fun. If it's all about that, then you cannot afford to come back. Just book your rooms early, my friends. Book your rooms early. So I will be, as the week continues, be highlighting some of the partners for that particular weekend. So you know just how you can get good packages as well as enjoy the weekend with us. Of course, when I say with us, I mean the Icon Radio KE crew. We're going to be there that weekend. Going to be all about the Shiraz. Going to be all about the giving you the information that's happening on the ground. We're going to be having our sports say reggae crew. We're going to be having our hookup crew. You need just everybody's going to be there, so you just cannot miss out because it's going to be one for the books. And rugby has not been having very many big events apart from Kenya Cup. Kenya Cup happened last. I think the finals happened last weekend, and it was absolutely amazing. So it's great to see the game kind of like getting its legs once again and having a lot of participation from the fans. Also COVID kind of just like put a halt to it for just a little bit, but now we are back with it at least for the year 2023. It's going to be an amazing one that you can't afford to miss out on. All right. So we'll be sharing details on our socials of where to grab those tickets. And you can start grabbing them right about now. So time has gone. I was going to tell you about the fashions, but I'm going to tell you real quick how it looks like Rihanna took on a nice, sleek, chic look, pregnancy and all, and she's looking absolutely absolutely stunning. If you look at her in her pictures right there on her page, as well as other blog sites, you'll get to see her in all black and all amazing. We also had the men looking oh so dapper. Everybody from Michael B. Jordan to The Rock in his ah, yes, it is satin suit, but also looking good. We also heard Samuel L. Jackson, who's aging oh so well. Now, let me tell you the person who's aging backwards, okay? Lenny Kravitz is looking yummier and yummier by the day, okay? You don't trust me? Go and look out for those pictures. We also had the stars of the Creed also looking also good. Haley Bailey, who's taking on